Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are diving into fascinating world of data structures again. We specifically focused on queues today. Ever wondered how to reverse the first k elements in a queue? In this video, we will explore the logic behind reversing first k elements in a queue, breaking it down step by step with the help of diagrams to make it crystal clear. Then we will implement the logic in Python, writing a program that demonstrates how to reverse the first k elements of queue and display the output. So grab your seats. Let's move on to the logic part and the programming part. So the last question we are going to discuss from queue here is reverse first k elements. Given a queue and integer k, reverse the first k elements of the queue. The remaining elements should be remain in the same order. So to achieve this, consider this as a queue of elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we are also given a value of k is equals to consider here as 2. So according to the question, we have to reverse 2, 1 as 1, 2 in the same position. So the desired output should be like 2, 1, 3, 4, and 5. From this, we understand that all other elements should be in the same position and the reversed elements should be in the same position. So to achieve this, we first have to find out whether the value of k is greater than 0 or less than the size of the stack. So it can it so if we know it first, it will be easy for us to find it to create a program without an error. So we have to create an auxiliary stack and dequeue these two elements and push them to this stack. So this auxiliary stack will contain 1, 2, and we have to then pop these elements back onto the original stack. Then the stack will become 3, 4, 5, 2, 1. So from this, we have reversed the elements, but the position is not the same. We have to bring these two elements back into the previous position. So for this, we have to create a for loop in the range of a number which is equal to the number we get when the size of the queue minus the k, which is a given number from the question. So it will give a number which will create a loop that runs, and we have to enqueue the elements which are dequeued from the same stack. So it will bring us an output of 2, 1, 3, 4, 5. So by enqueuing the dequeued item from the same queue, we will achieve this goal of reversing first k elements. So I hope you understand the logic and working of the program. So without wasting much time, let's move on to the coding part. Let's go through the program line by line and understand it more in depth. I am using Python programming language to make the program. So first we add a command line program to reverse first k elements So at first I am going to create a class named Q. Class Q. This class will represent a Q data structure. So at first I am going to initialize a function named double underscore init double underscore and in bracket I am giving self. So this basically is a constructor method for Q class. It initializes an empty list named items, which will store the elements of the queue. So self dot items in bracket no self dot items equals to empty list. So the next function I am going to create here is enqueue in bracket self comma item. So this is a method which takes an item as an input and adds it to the rear of the queue by appending it to the item list. So to append it, self dot items dot append of item. This will basically append the items into the queue. Then I am going to create a function named dequeue in brackets self. So in this, we first have to check whether the queue is empty or not, so that we can avoid avoid popping up an error. So for that, we have to check the size. If not self dot is underscore empty, return self dot items dot of 0. Else it will return none. This method removes and returns the item at the front of the queue. It checks if the queue is not empty before dequeuing to avoid errors. So the next function I am going to add here is, if you have noticed, there is a function named isEmpty I have used in DQ to check whether it is empty or not. So I have to create this function named is underscore empty in bracket self return length of self dot items equivalent to 0. This method will check if the queue is empty by evaluating whether the item list has a length of 0 or not. So the next function I'm adding here is named size. So it basically returns the number of elements in the queue by returning the length of the item list. So return length of self dot items. Then comes to the main part. These all are the basic operations of the queue data structure. Now we move on to the question, that is a function to create reverse first k elements. So row underscore k, row underscore cost k. So you can give any name for the function. It really doesn't matter. So in brackets self comma k. Uh, at first we have to check whether the k is less than 0 or greater than the or size of the size of the queue. So if k less than 0 or k greater than self dot size, return value error as invalid value of k, invalid value of k. So this method takes an integer k as input and reverse the first k elements of the queue. It first checks if k is a valid value, not greater than the size of the queue or negative. If k is invalid, it raises a value error. So here I give the value error as invalid value of k. So then we have to create an auxiliary stack that would be empty stack equals to empty. While stack self dot enqueue. So self dot enqueue of stack dot pop function. After all k elements are removed from the queue and stored in the stack, this code block iteratively dequeues the elements from the stack and enqueues them back into the queue. This effectively reverses the order of the first k elements. So we have already reversed the first k elements. The position is not retrieved. So to make it back onto the position, we have to for score of in range of self dot size minus k self dot enq of self dot dq. So finally, this code block iteratively dequeues the remaining elements from the queue and enqueues them back into the queue. This ensures that the order of the remaining elements remains unchanged. Then we have to create a function to display this. The underscore str underscore bracket self return str of self dot items. This method provides a string representation of the queue by returning the string representation of the item list. So to call these functions, and first I am going to enqueue some items into the queue. So before that, I should create an keyword named queue and call the class queue. Then queue dot enqueue bracket one queue dot enqueue bracket two queue dot enqueue bracket three queue dot enqueue bracket four queue dot enqueue bracket five queue dot enqueue bracket six. So I am going to just print the original list, print original queue, original queue, comma queue. Then I am going to give a value for k as 3, and then I'm going to call the function reverse first k rev underscore first k bracket. I'm giving k. Then I should print the function, print the last position of the queue, last order of the queue. So print queue. So I should just run the program. Yeah, here the original queue contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And after reversing first k elements, I have given the value of k as 3. So the first three elements will be reversed. That means the desired output will be 3, 2, 1, 4, 5, 6. And the output we have got here is also right. So the program works very well. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you understand the logic and the program very well. And see you till the next one.